Hey everyone, and welcome to Almost Cancelled. I'm Peter, that's Tim, and we are going to talk about Ash vs. Evil Dead, Season 2, Episode 5. It's called Confinement. Full spoilers for the episode, as always. This show keeps changing things up in me, and I think it's really helping its second season.
hmm
Did
Yeah.
you enjoy this episode, Timmy?
Oh, definitely, without a doubt. Yeah.
Yeah, I think because obviously the end of the last episode kind of felt like it ended like an arc. It ended kind of like what the
hmm
current story was for the most part.
hmm
So it was really interesting to go into this one and see what they were doing, and they immediately got the ball rolling. Like it opens with this really creepy, dark introduction of this character who, obviously if you've been watching the show, you sort of get, is this Ball? Is this the demon that Ruby's been,
hmm
scared of coming back? And he certainly makes an entrance. He
um,
slices the female cop's skin off and then starts wearing it. So
yeah. Yeah. He has like these weird, like almost like seductive powers, and then yeah, he like immediately just like cuts you up and wears your skin.
yeah.
Uh, which is always I'm always down for like just scenes of like skin falling off.
Well, it wasn't so much that the skin was falling off. We see the body from inside the skin like falling
Yeah.
into shot, and it's just this, I don't know
Like
what do you call a body without skin? Is there a
yeah,
word
no,
for it?
yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, you just it's just like a lot of like muscles and
Yeah,
tissue and stuff.
yeah. So this skinless corpse just falls to the
Mm,
ground, and that's what we got the title on. But no, it's set up. It. I think because it's funny because I always talk about how Ash vs Evil Dead has it's got a very good talent of like juggling the fun stuff, the goofy stuff, the whatever,
mhm.
but then it actually has the creepy stuff, and I feel like
Yeah,
this episode almost makes up for the fact that the last episode was almost no creepy, whereas this episode
right.
it felt like there was so much creepy. This was
Yeah,
everything because obviously as we get back with Ash, he gets arrested because they think he's they find the headless corpse of the deadite from episode like 2 or 3 whatever it was,
yeah.
and they arrest him for it. But everything in the police
Police
station and
station.
the jail cells, everything like even before we get to the main plot, like there's all these
Mm,
like Dutch angles. There's this build of tension. There's this build of dread of things erupting.
mhm.
Something's going on. So especially
Oh
once we
yeah.
see the female cop who
All right.
who we seen had been killed, and we're like, oh, yeah, that's the demon. He's
Yeah.
there. Yeah. So
Yeah, and it makes like for a good like a what do you call them, like a box episode, um when it's kind of like all like
yeah,
taking place in this one location.
yeah. Bottle episode's the term
Bottle
typically.
up, so that's what it is. Yeah.
Mm.
But no, it's cool. And then yeah, it gives like a nice paranoia. I think when I watched the last week's episode, I usually watch the little afterwards they have. They'll talk for like a minute or two about what's coming up and stuff. And I think maybe like the producer or someone basically said that this week's episode was going to be basically like the thing in a Evil
I
Dead universe.
as soon as she mentioned that it can be disguised as anyone, and
Yeah,
that they'd all start like turning on each other, I immediately thought of the thing. That was
yeah,
that is the first thing that comes to me as a horror fan. Like when you start talking about that. And it brings a lot of things into play from the last few episodes because obviously the
mhm,
teenage girl that survived the car
mhm,
is the sheriff's daughter and Linda's daughter. So we see Linda
yeah.
again. They're all there at the police station. Oh, by the way, Kelly dropping like references to the fact that she kicked the crap out of the sheriff
Oh yeah.
before. Uh, you want to go again? You're staying dry.
Yeah.
Uh,
Like
uh,
Linda's like, what is she talking about?
yeah. Chet's also been arrested for drink driving and soliciting a prostitute. And by the way, one of my favourite jokes of this episode might be
Yeah.
when Ash like sort of goes, "Ah, yeah, how you feeling, Chet?" It's like, or not, sorry, how you feeling? Was it Jonesy or Jesse,
So
the
yeah.
prostitute? He's like, "How you
Mhm.
feeling?" He's like, "Oh, itchy," in a pure deep man's voice. And
Yeah.
then he says to Chet, "How are you feeling?" Itchy. I love that joke because there's layers to it.
Yeah.
There's layers to that joke. It's funny.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, that was great. There's actually another line that really had me laughing out loud. Was when what is it, like Pablo calls like the sheriff or something like you crazy white guy or something.
Oh yeah,
And
that
like
that whole build up. Yeah. Because the funny thing is Ash steps in because
yeah,
because the sheriff refers to Pablo as the Mexican, and Ash
yeah,
steps in and goes, whoa, he's not the Mexican, he's Pablo, and of course. Knowing
yeah,
Ash, we immediately go, right, where's this going? He's about to say something really
yeah.
racist himself. Well, that's just the way it works. And he says, he's Pablo, the Mexican. And then, yeah, Pablo hits out, yeah, and you're sheriff, the crazy white guy. And
Yeah.
Ash is like, oh, Pablo, that's a bit racist. Apologise.
Yeah, so like how like offended he got. He was like, "Whoa,
So,
hey."
yeah, really funny.
Yeah,
As Ash always is, but yeah, this because they're all trapped in the one location, it makes for all these great little moments when they're all getting paranoid and they'll start insulting each other and questioning
yeah,
if one's a demon or not. And of course, it turns out the cop who's down in the basement that Ruby runs into is the one who's actually Ball, and
yeah,
she uses the seductive thing on Ruby, and then she realizes who it is, tries to stab him, and he de-skins again. He actually seems
yeah.
to sort of rip out the skin like that, like it's like
Yeah, I thought
peekaboo.
yeah, I thought that was a really cool scene. Like it kind of stinks because like the I wasn't crazy about the CGI of like his like fingernail growing long, and then but then once he kind of starts slicing himself and ripping his skin off, it looked like it was a lot more like practical effects and stuff, and I actually thought that looked really cool then.
I don't think you can do the nail appearing without.
Or
Yeah,
yeah, it's I get that was the only way it. I didn't think like it looked like totally great, but it's a very very minor quibble. But
yeah.
yeah, like him bursting through the skin, I thought looked really cool. And then I kind of liked like the lights are flickering, he's standing there naked, and then they go off for a second, they come back, and he's like fully clothed.
Yeah,
I just thought that was like a
yeah, because he was drenched in blood, but then he's like no
yeah
blood, and black
yeah
suit, looking very dapper, very.
yeah
So, and he doesn't kill Ruby because he specifically wants her to grow old and die slowly and suffer like these
yeah
maggots, referring to human beings, of course.
yeah.
Um, but
Which
no,
I forget. I always have like a bad memory with stuff, so I forget if we already knew this or if we're kind of just getting a little bits of Ruby's backstory. But did we know that like she was immortal before, or is that
yeah.
something that kind of
It,
dropping?
no, it's not. I seem to recall that being a thing in season one.
Uh,
She's yeah. Remember, we seen her get killed and get back up.
that's true. Yeah.
Remember that happened like
Uh,
twice in season one. So yeah, no, she
yeah.
was definitely immortal last season.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I wasn't sure if like we're getting like little bits of her backstory or if it's something we had already known, because I feel like I remembered it, but I wasn't sure if like, oh, was I just thinking that, or was that something we specifically knew? I don't know, but I actually would like to, and I don't know, maybe they're gonna do this more later on, but I would actually like to get like a little bit more, into her past at some point.
We probably I can see it coming out the more she interacts with Ball and as they
Yeah,
like bring up like how did they end up kind of together and you know
and they
what
said that she wrote the book, the Necronomicon, but I forget if they ever actually said like how or why or
yeah I wonder if it was to do with him, like she wrote it to
yeah,
deal with him.
maybe yeah,
Because obviously, if they were immortal, and this could have all happened before the first movie, this could have happened centuries
yeah.
ago if they're
Oh, definitely.
living
Yeah,
forever, or were at least until she's became mortal. So,
yeah,
uh, yeah, a lot of good stuff in the police station. All of them turning on each other. Like obviously the sheriff like keeps thinking it's Ash. That Ash is just a psychopath. There's nothing else going on.
yeah.
And I love when he tries to like convince Linda that he's okay.
I,
It's like, remember how I used to take you out for burgers? We had that first kiss in your mum's, and he names a car. And he's like, that wasn't
yeah,
me. And he names like 5 more cars, and it doesn't happen. And at the
yeah,
end of the episode, he steps after she dumps the sheriff, because at one point the sheriff, to be fair, he does hear a demon's voice telling him like something. So I feel a little bit
yeah,
bad for him that he's been influenced, and it's led to the breakup of his marriage. But
yeah,
she dumps him basically, and Ash immediately steps into frame. He just
yeah.
slides in, perfect timing, and is oh, your mother drove a Volkswagen, and it's like a sweet moment. It's like, oh, I remembered. It's like, yeah, and you stole it and crashed it. Yeah, well, not my fault. It was wasted. Ash is
Yeah.
delightful.
Oh
Uh,
no, definitely.
But of course, we end on a cliffhanger that something's inside Pablo. It seems like it's like a connection to the book still, because Ball says that the Necronomicon's gone, so there's nothing that they can do about him. But it seems like whatever was appearing on Pablo's body was writing from the Necronomicon.
Yeah.
So
I'm trying to think, because like I feel like one of the like things we know about the Necronomicon is that it was like written on human flesh or whatever. So yeah, I'm trying to think if they're writing like a new book, like using Pablo's flesh or like something like that.
Well, I don't know if it was written on human flesh. I think it was. I think the exact phrase was bound in human flesh. So I think the cover was human flesh, but the I mean, technicality, but
yeah, like somehow flesh is
flesh was involved. There was a fleshy
yeah
thing going on with the book. Yes.
Yeah.
Dear. But no, lots of good stuff. And of course, after Ball leaves, we do get the skinless corpse from the cop comes back to life and starts attacking people. So we do get some badass action towards the end with Ash chainsawing down the middle of the body, Ruby blowing its head off. There's just some good splatter going on.
Yeah, and I like the way that demon looked, and I think like when she first appears, I think Ash says like actually goes like lady cop or like something like that. Which
when she first shows up and she's like, are they all as sweet and round as you or something like that. Yeah.
I think it's just like such a funny way to like refer to like, well, she's more of a skinless demon. That's more of the defining characteristic, but
also some other great little subplots. I love that the sheriff's daughter's like still got a crush on Pablo, because that was something that she kind of brought up last episode as well. I mean, it's nice that it's kind of a running thing.
Yeah, that was a nice touch. And then like another really funny moment I liked at the end was
keys.
When the keys.
Yeah. So don't worry, Linda, I'm going to get you out of this jail cell no matter how long it takes. Revs up chainsaw. It's funny because I didn't even expect Ruby to say something. I was expecting the sheriff to be like, "Hey, I've got I've got the keys," but Ruby had them and threw them at his face. Actually, this isn't a complaint, but I will say this: I thought like as they leave the cell and Linda he pulls Linda's face hits the metal and she gets knocked out.
Yeah,
that was like such a slapstick, goofy moment. Like I'm like, I almost thought, is that too goofy for this show? Like, it was just such like I don't know. It was like out of just a straight up comedy, just like her walking into the bar. It was kind of weird, but at the same time, I can't deny it got a laugh. So
no, definitely.
But anything else, Timmy, before we wrap up?
No, another solid episode. I think I don't think I had really any complaints about the first season, but I think the season has been even better. So I've been like, I absolutely love the first season. I didn't, maybe like one or two episodes in the middle, maybe had like a little bit of a lull, but I still enjoyed it. But so far, this has really been kind of, kicking in like every episode.
I think it's an improvement, and I like season one, of course, a lot. But I think the pacing throughout the season, the consistency of the quality, and also the just the variation on what the episodes are about feels very better thought out. It feels more progressive as we go. It doesn't just, because I've said it before, but season one was very much roll into this location, deal with something, drive out of location. Next episode, drive into it. Like, which wasn't a big deal, but this episode feels a lot more organic as it goes.
Yeah.
So I'm really liking that. So there's episode 5 of season 2 of Ash vs Evil Dead. Let us know what you thought of the episode in the comments below. Like and subscribe and all that stuff. It helps us out a lot. Thank you very much for watching. Keep killing deadites. We'll see you next week.